What's happening, YouTube and the internet? Terrence here, and in this quick video, or probably won't be quick, but in this video I want to go over time management and actually the skills or the strategy you can put in place to actually dedicate time to spend on your gaming PC. That way it's not sitting around somewhere just collecting dust. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. But if this is your first time to the channel and you're a first time viewer, do me a favor and subscribe with the notification bell on to receive all future notifications and content updates and all that good stuff. And consider joining as a channel member down below with really neat, cool, and exclusive perks that you'll unlock throughout your journey as a channel member. But again, welcome back to the channel. I'm Terrence, your host and operator here inside the lab, and I wanted to bring you a different type of video, or a different kind of video here on the channel, while I also get some gains in, or get some much needed walking in here around the track. So I also wanted to squeeze in a bit of piece of content to also discuss time management and a few ways you could dedicate time to actually gaming on your PC. So again, it's not sitting around somewhere collecting dust. More than likely, to you, your budget was important. So however much money you put into your system, you want to make sure you're getting something out of that. But here in the States, we're actually on a bit of a holiday. So I've actually had the time to get caught up on some content, work on some of the back end things with the business, and plan out the return of the live stream or the live show. Because yes, if you're a first time viewer and you didn't know, we go live, or we were going live when we were running the show full time about once a week every Saturday. So we're going to get right back to that, but or right back to doing live streams. I promise you. So again, subscribe if you're new, and while you're down there, hit the like button for me. But plugs aside, or plugs out the way, I wanted to dive in and share some tips that you could deploy if you find yourself not having enough time to sit down and actually game on your PC. And one of the things that helped me without a doubt is I lined up all the necessary work I need to get done over the next couple of weeks for both clients and for the content. And I tried my best, or I did my best, to make sure those things were fulfilled or taken care of to the best of my ability before I did anything else. And I did that up until about Tuesday or Wednesday. That way it allowed me to free up any additional time to not say crunch at the last minute and spend more time on a task than I actually should. And that necessarily doesn't just apply to, say, content creators or business owners. You may have other full-time obligations that you may have to tend to. For example, a loved one or family member, or you may have children, which I know all about that, trust me. But you may have other obligations you need to fulfill. Try to line up all your tasks, even write them down if you have to. It helps me a lot. Try to write down all of your tasks and then check them off one by one. Do them before they are due. If you have, say, a bill you have to take care of, or you got to get one of your children out to, say, a sport or an event, right? Try to line up all the necessary details before that event, or before that date pops up, right? Get all your ducks lined up, as the saying goes. The other tip I recommend you do is set aside any distractions. This could be your cell phone or your tablet or that console you're still holding on to. But you want to set aside any and all distractions that may tempt you to do something other than game on your PC. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, when we have our mobile phones right next to us and we want to fire up one of those mobile friendly games, I'm guilty of this too. I turn my phone upside down and I'm able to get some quality gaming in, right? I don't get distracted by text messages or notifications from some of the strategy games I like to play. Well, some just flew in my eye. But yeah, limit your distractions. Our cell phones are one of the primary distractions. I'm not saying ignore your children or any, again, obligations you may need to and want to tend to. I'm telling you to set aside any distractions that won't harm or interfere with the routine or the regular operations of one's daily life, rather that be, again, a loved one or, children you have to raise or you're responsible for. Keeping your system up to date before you're actually getting into any long form or long gaming sessions will also make sure that your games are running stable and that you're less likely to run into, say, system crashes or instability or bugs or what have you. If you keep all your drivers and all your Windows update up to date, you won't have to worry about your gaming experience being interrupted by these things. Right? Like, be proactive about it. Yes, it's a nuance, or some consider it a nuance, but it's a necessary evil. Get it done. And if you have a different taste of games you like to play, or it's not just one game, in my case, I don't have an extensive library right now. I got a lot to get caught up on. Starting again with Resident Evil Village, which so far is okay. But, you know, if you like to play games that are games as a service like Call of Duty Warzone or even Fortnite, and those games may come with a rather lengthy update that you're not prepared for. Again, try to keep your games up to date, especially your games, but most importantly, if there are any games that you have already purchased and you just haven't yet installed on your system, you want to go ahead and do that even though you're not prepared to play it. You can even make that one of your tasks when you're trying to get all your all your priorities checked off. Make that one of your tasks. If you've been wanting to play Red Dead Redemption 2 and the game is rather large in file size, or GTA 5, which is 100 gigabytes, maybe you don't want to wait that long. Maybe your bandwidth isn't fast enough to get it downloaded in time, or you might have a slower drive and it may take a little while to install. Again, take care of those things before you're prepared to play or you're ready to play. Feels like I'm walking in Narnia right now. But get your games lined up and already download and installed so that when you have the time, or most importantly, you've made the time to play it. Sorry, I'm trying to get the sun out your eyes. When you made the time to actually play the game, you don't have to wait on anything. You just have to initiate and get started. So yeah, doing these things have enabled me to free up additional time these past couple days, and even today, and quite possibly even into tomorrow, to free up some time to get some much needed quality gaming time in with my primary gaming PC, Snow White. I've been able to play Resident Evil 8 Village and just fully get lost into the game's narration and lore and the overall story, which is a little slow, I guess, of where I'm at right now. I was going to do a surprise live stream behind it, but I changed my mind. The game, I'm a slow gamer. Some of you have seen that in previous pop-up live streams. If you haven't, they're a little lengthy, but I'll leave a card up right here so you can give it a watch, or over here so you can give it a watch. But I was going to play it as the game of choice for our pop-up live stream series, but I think I decided on another one that might be a little bit more entertaining for me to watch, and still is very much story driven and has a strong narrative attached to it. But getting my tasks lined up and clearly laid out and ready to check off as I'm able to get them done. Again, even before they are actually due. For me, that can be planning future live streams, or responding to emails, updating previous content, or getting ready to make new content or thumbnails, whatever the case may be. Anything that had to be done and needed to be done, I lined up, right? So I can just check it off and mark it off as priority done. And that way I actually am not bothered by it mentally when I'm trying to actually enjoy the game or games that I want to play, that you want to play, right? That way I can fully pull myself or get pulled into the game. That way I can become the character, or I can be a part of the story. However your play style dictates however your play style dictates you and how you like to enjoy games, or how you like to experience, your experience. I said experience a lot of times there, but you get the point. Your experience may vary depending on the type of games you like to play and your play style. For me, when I'm able to get all my tasks done and focus on the games, it just makes the game that much more immersive. But when you keep your system up to date, you're able to free up, even if it's a moment of time, to spend more time gaming. Sometimes the update might get held up, or it may take a little longer than usual if it's an exclusive Windows update or a major update. But sometimes it may take a little longer than usual. And this may quickly deter you from even wanting to play the game or games you actually want to play. So when your system is properly updated, Windows and your drivers, whether that be GeForce or Radeon, when your system is properly updated, you can free up time that you don't have to worry about your PC dropping frames or crashing on you in the middle of your gameplay, which can be immersive breaking. It can take you out of the experience. That's why you want to make sure those things are done and taken care of before you actually sit down and start gaming. And yes, to reiterate, when you limit your distractions, when you turn your phone upside down, or you say take care of something you had to take care of, maybe it's a task. I know that falls a little along the lines of number one, but when you limit your distraction, whatever the form that may come in, this allows you to not have to be broken away from your system, or having your gaming session abruptly interrupted, right? Like stop before you're ready to stop. If it's a story-based game or a story-driven game, maybe you can't pause or save directly where you are at in that moment of the game. This happened to me in Resident Evil Village, so I'm speaking from the heart here. Or you're playing a game as a service, which is even more crucial, because then that means you really can't pause your game, or you really can't stop. So, or maybe you're playing a game as a service, which is important or crucial, because then that means you really can't stop. You have to keep going until you either won the match or the match is over, whichever one comes first. And then you want to make sure you actually have purchased, downloaded, and installed your game or games of choice before you actually have the time, or again, if you made the time to sit down and play them, to sit down and enjoy them. Doing these things, doing all of these things has enabled me to free up additional time this weekend, this holiday weekend, to get some quality gaming in. I've actually also played some Fortnite. I know some of you may have your reservations on Fortnite, but I still love to jump in. I'm super casual on the game and typical battle royales in general. I'll play Fortnite and maybe Call of Duty Warzone every once in a while, but I try liking Battlefield 2042, and maybe we'll even do a revisit video on the game since the update, and any other future content that EA DICE decides to add to the game. But regardless, I've been able to actually be a PC gamer these past couple of days. In community, it feels great. So if that's you and you find yourself in a position where maybe you don't have as much time to spend on your gaming PC, maybe you just needed that extra kick in the rump to get you set up or get you situated to actually make that time, to free up that dedicated time so that you too can spend some quality time gaming on your PC that you likely spent your hard-earned money to get set up and built. And if you need help or you're ready to start your journey as a PC gamer, give this video a watch right here I put on the screen, or this video over here to the left of the screen or the opposite side of the screen. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do hope to catch you on the next one. So until then, be easy.